Oh, hello dear viewer, this may or may not have started. I do not know. I never know with these live stream things whether they're working or not. I think it is. It says receiving content, we are live, so that's cool. I have recently sort of discovered something. What is that something I've discovered? I've discovered that there's an awful lot of 3D data now in Google Earth. Yes, I knew there was, but generally of major sites and things like that, and not of housing estates and general stuff anywhere out there. How do I discover this? Firstly, what was I trying to discover it for? I was trying to discover better 3D data for my sort of rendering of the National Beyond Visual line of sight Experimentation Corridor in England. That's between Blue Bear and Cranfield, just north of Bedford to just west of Bedford. And so I thought I'd have a look in Google Earth. And while I was there, I thought I'd have a look at an area where in the past, you see this track here running in from the right, from that road there and to there. Years ago, I landed a hot air balloon here. And that was us coming out, and it amused me that the track in and out was there. It was by drone. G'day, how you doing? I'm just going through some funny, and we're going to mention Australia in a minute, some unscripted nonsense. So I came into this field, got a balloon out of the field, and this was left on Google Earth, and I thought tickety boo. Now, when I first went to have a look at it last week, it wasn't there. The track wasn't there, but also it didn't look like this. It looked like this, and I was astounded at the 3D data now showing on Google Earth. I mean, one of my anti-delivery drone sort of rants is, how on earth are they going to get accurate enough data to get in and out of buildings and to my very doorstep? But look at that. I think you're going to be able to. So, of course, that then made me think, well, let's go and have a look at the trial area. Now, you can see on Google Earth, well, I don't know if this applies to the whole world, quite easily where they've got really cushy 3D data and where they haven't. So we just got the highway here and take ourselves up to Bedford, up to that corridor area. Where are we now? Where's that? Bromham Road, that's Bedford there, isn't it? Yes, that's the old RAE Bedford, Royal Aircraft Establishment Bedford. Huge runway. They did all sorts of testing and stuff like that there. And then down here then, must be, yeah, there we are. Okay, there's Blue Bears there. And my last fictional airfield I made over here. Now, you probably know that you can jump into, don't know why, we probably have to crash off this. I don't know, it seems to have joined us correctly. There's a windmill I showed. Where's that 3D data? It'll come up in a minute. But yeah, I'm going to dive down to a low level. That's the old third light. Here we go. Here's the 3D data. Look, you see the divide. But oh my word. Happy days if you are developing delivery drone services and you want to... Is that streaming? Yeah, that's streaming. And if you want to work out where all the buildings and all the bumps are, there they are there. Just keep going around the corner. I'm astounded. I'm looking for Blue Bear's place now. I have a feeling that's it over there. On the motorway, or not the motorway, on the Paula Radcliffe Way, or whatever that dual carriageway is called now. So we'll strike out from here. So there's no need to go out and buy. So imagine when the whole world's like this. There you are. That's where Blue Bear are there. Somewhere in that building there, I think. Imagine when the whole world's like this, which I'm sure it'll come, and you know what amazing data Google have actually got now. I'm trying to get out to, yeah, you can see power lines in the distance there. I'm already too low, 500 feet. So here we are. If we were pootling along on our delivery drone, this is what we're going. But look at all that data. If I had to try and add all that data myself, oh, I've gone too far to the left. I may be lost very shortly. But yeah, if I had to try and add all this to a flight sim and make a really accurate map, well, one could, but it would take forever. And why would you when you can get that data for free off the good folks at Google? So the next thing I'm going to be asking the devs to do at ArduPilot is to please connect software in the loop to Google Earth, please. Oh, we're at that's a golf course. Yeah, I know where we are now. And then for those people that aren't so interested in realizing what flights will, how the landings and things go, but are more interested in how it goes relative to the terrain. 800 feet, we're a bit high. We should push down a bit here. Let's get back down to low level. Now we're going to run out of the terrain. So it's probably quite obvious that they've started doing around cities first. So they've done around Bedford. Now we're going out into the countryside, and the next place they're going to have done is Milton Keynes. But this is free. This is the standard old data now. Look, 3D buildings are gone. So this is one we'd have to avoid by 100 meters, but we won't for the purposes of this. What we'll do is I'm having a cheeky little sherry. I don't know how to get rid of the flaps of Google. I don't know anything about the Google Earth Flight Sim. Looks like some terrain over there, or some 3D stuff. What's that water coming up? This is where you can watch the paint dry until we get ourselves to some more 3D scenery. Oh, I know where we are. Okay. No, it's about 8 inches, or it's a bit more than 8 centimeters. About 8 inches. All right. Look, you can already see that. Then that's what I wanted to do when I was playing around in X-Plane, was give some dimensions to the airfields up there, to the distance, and you can already see. I can already see that's Milton Keynes. The white building that's going to come on the nose, that is the shops. It is a ski centre, one of those parachuting centres, indoor things where you get blown about. This is Cranfield Aerodrome. So sadly, this is the aerodrome that the BV Lost trial's ending at, but that's not 3D yet. But it will be in time. I really don't know what you mean, 505. Yeah, so this is where the trial will end, but yeah, this is going to be a game. Well, we'll get over Milton Keynes and I'll show you. It's going to be a game changer for flight sim enthusiasts, that's for sure. Down the end of the runway here somewhere is where the lightning is. So this is Milton Keynes coming up on the horizon, full of big delivery warehouse places, hubs for warehouse delivery as well. Where's that lightning? It's down here somewhere. Should be going under the nose. Well, it was down here. Maybe it's not down here anymore. There it is. Is it? Yes, there it is. Oh, it doesn't hit the ground. Yes, I'm going to bother grown-ups at ArduPlane, I think, to get this put into the sim. Oh, get this put into software in the loop. If we could connect with this. I know that survey. The trouble is, that survey has so many leading questions in it. So much flipping nonsense. It's like they're driving you to their answers, aren't they? But yeah, you probably should. I think it's important to remember that the last survey that they changed the law on, all the stuff that's just come in and is changing in the UK. This is Milton Keynes coming up the M1, the arterial road into London, running to the south. That one only had 600 and some responses. And so if there's 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 responses this time from around the world, they might take more note and at least know that the people are here. So yeah, as I said, I was trying to thinking about modelling buildings. What I was thinking about doing for X-Plane was taking OpenStreetMap and where that showed buildings, trying to build up buildings from that. And then I just stumbled across this, that Google Earth has it all anyway, which is fantastic. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So there's definitely enough data here to the Open Universities off to the south. Definitely enough data to create stuff to delivery drones at low level. We're not at 600 feet AGL now, 650. I don't know what the altimeter setting is based on here. This is a ski dome that we're coming up to up here. So obviously, you think that the good folks at Google must be doing this in Australia, and maybe we'll jump across there in a second. But yes, lo and behold, in the test area in Canberra, near where Tridge lives, it's all fantastic. All this 3D scenery as well. So what can I say? I can't say any more really, can I? This is downtown Milton Keynes. Free for anyone scenery. It's amazeballs. So let's get over some houses and stop flying and just have a look at some data here. Yeah, over houses. This is a paint dry video. It is going to take more than one cup of coffee, sadly, to fill that in. Yeah, and that also must be part of the game plan, isn't it? You know, if it's really dull to fill in, then people aren't going to fill it in. So yeah, one of the sort of my it'll never work drone deliveries, power, how they're going to get all the data. Just think of all the houses. Well, this is pretty good. Look, there's a big area. We could go into there with a multi-rotor and we could nav into it and probably use vision-based stuff. If you could get this into Mission Planner, I'm wondering if you could try and use maybe a companion computer or even within the software in itself eventually, and see if it can use vision-based collision avoidance with it. There's got to be enough. Let's get down a bit lower and tilt up. There's got to be enough bumpy bits. So yeah, if I could use this, I will. I am impressed. So have a fly wherever you are in the world. In fact, where are you there, Osboy drone? Where were you again? Let's go. Or let's go. I'll show you first of all. Over to the area that that Google are using in Canberra. It's this area here. And lo and behold, Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy. They've updated this as well. But there's also something a bit funny happens over here. Look how the way the tiles aren't quite working. Yeah, it's the Bonneton suburbs. But look how it's not. It's doing something different here, isn't it? Look, the way the tiles aren't coming as quickly. So I wonder if there's some googly nonsense going on underneath this, or if it's just the way I've got it set up. Look, we can go below the earth. Maybe what it is it still hasn't uploaded enough of the terrain. Let's go to Sutherland in Sydney then. That's a lovely place in Scotland. Real-time typing. That's what the internet was made for. You've got to have that timer thing. Oh, looks like. Yes, looks like it is still flat Earth, doesn't it? Make sure that slider, that time slider, is right across. So it's just lucky that Bedford. Oh gosh, I would have assumed that. I bet Sydney. Where's the Opera House? I bet that's 3D, isn't it? Is it down here? That must be down there, isn't it? Somewhere. Just let it load a bit. Sydney was fine. So help me out. Where's the Opera House and all this? I have no idea. I'm just not Sutherland. Well, so could we make a prediction then that folks that are going to get deliveries first, just wait and see if oh, look, I bet that's 3D over there. Yeah, you can see, look, it's so obvious. And I also notice, I was not going to tell me the one, it just all says Google. Alright, let's go flying here then. Should we go in the F-16 this time? It probably will, this will probably end badly. Amazing. I think ArduPilot and Google are comparing notes because it can be no accident that they're that Google X's trial is near Tridge's house. It can be no accident. Why on earth would you pick Canberra if Tridge didn't live there? Yeah, you can plainly see the non and the. I can lose time. Am I the only person in the world that can lose time to this sort of thing? It's just amazing. I'm guessing that it's not got. I'm not sure why. If this is the F-16, why we're not powering up? I don't know how the throttle or anything in this works. Quite amazing. I know Durban's got it just down the road from me, but I don't think we've got it here, which is inland a bit from Durban. Amazing. So, if I were a betting man, I would say the places that are going 3D like this on Google Earth, that must be a water tower, are the places that are going to get delivery drones first. Oh, that's what you do. You nudge the throttle. Amazing. I wonder what that is. Just the centre of town. I know, I've done it. I've done the whole VR gig as well. It is fun, and I lose time with that, doing that flying along thing. Let's go to. Got to do that, haven't you? Oops. I'll show you where. Let's have a look and see if this is a big city. In fact, I'll be in Durban tomorrow. Let's just check my house. This isn't where I live. F-16 starts right. So down here is the rugby stadium, and then right next to it, well, that's a football stadium, I beg your pardon, in front, and then right behind it, that is the rugby stadium. So there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seats there within a few. Oh, look at that terrain arriving. That's amazing. All right, let's come inland, and I doubt very much of my house is in there. New interchange you just built. Yeah, you can already see where it ends. It's got a valley of 1,000 hills. I don't know how to lose the flaps on Google Earth Flight Sim. Okay, there's the highway. Is that the highway? Yeah, there's the highway. Let's fly IFR. Yeah, so we've got the terrain issue here. They're heading west. Okay, that's good. Now I'm mucking about. Feel free to not watch. That's Fields Hill, if anyone... not Fields Hill, that's where you go down past that big antenna. For anyone that knows the area. It's a new factory that someone I know very well has been mapping every Thursday for about 3 years. Slow down a bit. The reason I'm going to slow down is I'm going to come across my very dear friend Vic's runway very shortly. So I give him a flyby. I wonder if Peter Maritzburg will be in 3D. I doubt it very much. Peter Maritzburg in the horizon, looking for a shot along there. That's at the top. If you want animal tracking collars, the man you want to see will be just down here. That's the back of his hill. Pull up and I'll point the nose down because there's his runway there, there's his hangar going under the nose now. Let's see, Peter Maritzburg is in 3D, it's not. Or is it? No, hang on, I'm beginning to see a building sticking up there. Am I seeing a building? Why is a building in 3D? That's the airfield there. It looks like the City Hall in Peter Maritzburg. That must be a community-made model or something like that. It's not the City Hall. It's one. It's the tower block. Okay. Yeah. So there's normally. Oh, hang on. Is it? No, it's not. No. So that must be a community-made model. That's the big shopping mall that we go to, the mall. So this is Google Earth Flight Sim, mucking about in an F-16 looking for 3D terrain, knowing that we've not got any air. The gliding club's going to be, in fact, let's go over the gliding club, is going to be under here somewhere. That's the gliding club. There it is there. Wrong valley. Where's Hilton School? Is up here somewhere? That is NBEC. There's rhinos underneath us there. I can't remember what the name of that little reserve is. Wow. Yeah, no actual 3D terrain here. 3D buildings and trees and all that here though. Pushing on at my house. to the golf course at Boschuk. Oh, what's that light object up there? I might have a map pin on here. Yeah, there's a golf course at Boschuk. I will have a map pin for something or other. I wonder what it is. Or maybe even a KML or something. I'm tempted to go and see that yellow dot. What have I put there? What pin have I put there? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's where my chum and I did another flight from. The old house going under the nose now. Yeah, that's a takeoff point from the previous RG pilot flight. And it should get very noisy now. It's up this road, so if you ever come and visit, it's up this road, and then the gate's just here, and where it says Rosetta there, well, it's actually a receiving station for Open Glider Network. I didn't keep that very straight, did I? So the clues there, that's where the receiver for Open Glider Network is. Oh, it's just a Raspberry Pi and it's just a Raspberry Pi and some software and an SDR in it. It's super simple, and one of these doohickeys for the transmitter and the GPS. That's it. That's all there is to it. In fact, A's a better one because this one's got the antenna on it. That's all it is. And that works really, really well. It gets plumbed into. Let's go somewhere more interesting. Let's go to London and then let's call it a night. Oh no, because I exit Flight Simulator, haven't I? Yeah, no, it's super simple. And then you'll appear in not only in for other glider pilots and stuff like that, but for UTMs, that sort of a thing. I mean, London must be packed with stuff. You'd have thought, wouldn't you? Let's go in. Yes, I'll tell you. It's a long way to fall. Oh, actually, look. I reckon that side of London over there is not. Or do you mean the SDR setup for the for ADSB, for multiple ADSB receivers? Because there you won't see. I've got a couple of boxes off to the left. That's London City Airport down there, and yeah, that's just several of us all around the country with receivers. It gets piped into a server, and then that server then chucks it out into one address. Yeah, then that server pumps that into one address that we then pull into Mission Planner. It's quite simple, and it's quite simple because it's Luke that does it, not me. So it makes it very simple. London City, hello. This is so diving down on London City Airport. We can already see the 3D there. knew a chap. He's flying the other way. Look at the detail on that barge there. Ah, Google's doing some clever stuff, isn't it? Yeah, if enough people in the RG plane or our world got together and started, much like there are other services doing it, this is extraordinary, isn't it? Look at those pillars. We don't get that in X-Plane or FSX scenery. Is that a windmill down there? What's that down there? It is a windmill, isn't it? This is nuts. You can try this at home for free. That's nuts. And those of you in a place with proper internet connection, with a bit of speed, this all looks seamless, all this stuff. This is insane. I wonder how much of it's caching as I'm flying. I guess that's a setting in Google Earth. Let's go back up the Thames. Yeah, this needs to be one of the software in the loop options, doesn't it? I wonder how we'd flatten out the airfields and things. Yeah, no, I was trying to say if there's enough people contributing to the windmill over there, back to London City up past the Dome, then we could have our own very impressive UTM system, or data for a UTM system. When I looked at Canberra earlier, there was quite a big quarry there, and I was beginning to wonder if they refresh this frequently enough. I don't know how often they refresh it. There's a crane. That's insane. This is insane. If they refresh it enough, one wonders if you could do your volumetric calculations based on it. Oh, this is the Thames Barrier. I should rename this, because flight simmers will go nuts for this. I suppose the argument is you're paying for the scenery every time, as it were, because it's data. It's quite windy outside. It's August here. It's August everywhere, and we I think I've just gone under some power lines. Wow, look at the wires on there. Let's not hit it though. There's some volumetric stuff. I wonder what that's piles of there, right in the centre of London. That's Greenwich, I think, there. Yes, there's Greenwich. That's the buildings at Greenwich. So we're at the north. We're going to cross the North Meridian now. Minus becomes plus. Yes, you can order a pizza. I think you can probably order a pizza if you're in any of these houses, because Google plainly have the data to know exactly where your house is and roughly how high it is. Certainly enough, if you think about it, to get a vision-based system in to go the last mile. Which you think how much more accurate this is than a bit of paper. I've got to loiter. Like it's trying to load so much that we're not getting the details, are we? That's that new shard thing. when we get to the main sites, we'll turn around again. And do you think I'll be in trouble? Here we are, Tower Bridge. I used to fly from right next to here. Let's do what the Hunter did. The very, very famous chap in the Hunter. There's HMS Belfast. We'll go back and look at those in a moment. I knew a chap that flew an ultralight under every single bridge of the Thames. I'm not daring to do that on this even. Yeah, it's fixed wing. It's the SR-22 in X-Plane. And the point of this, I see you joining late. The point of this is, oh look, it's really struggling now. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Oh, that was the wheel there. Let's go back and let it load this. All this 3D information is out there and out there for free, as it were. And we could use this for avoiding things. There's St. Paul's. Flown down there in a helicopter, actually. Now we're given a second pass, so surely should get more rendering on these buildings. Yeah, so in my little idea of having a better version in X-Plane of the delivery corridor that they're proposing in the UK. So I started adding trees, and I was going to add buildings, and I started playing around and discovered just how good the 3D was in Google Earth. So why wouldn't you use anything else? This is Dallas dishwater for video for people, isn't it? Oh, there's a really good pub back there, actually. Actually, is it about here? Where is it? Where are we? Yeah, it's just back there somewhere. Yeah, look at the resolution popping up now that we've let it catch up a bit. Dear RGPilot developers, please can we have software in the loop connected to Google Earth? Love, Gary. Why did the flaps go to 20 or 40 earlier? Oh, that's a new bridge. It shakes. Super detail, deeper detail on that. That says Houses of Parliament, obviously. Touch and go on what? Actually, I don't know how to get the wheels down on this thing. Let's just try G. Does anyone say gear? Well, I could touch and go Battersea heliports down here somewhere. Well, it's Google Earth Flight Sim. So you'd have to, you could guide me and tell me by looking on Google whilst I don't crash into things. There must be something, mustn't there? I mean, this is too good a data not to. Oh, there we are. Look, we've flown out the 3D. Or have we? There's some more 3D. Again, that must have been user-generated 3D. Yeah, just that bridge. So we've flown out of the bulk of it now. Because we'll be heading at Heathrow in a second. In fact, that'll be it there. Let's climb up a bit and look. I bet that's the buildings at Heathrow. Out left arrow. Out left arrow. looking for. Well, that didn't work. Well, look at that. You trust people on the internet. Look what happened. Let's exit and enter again. I don't know. People, eh? And I don't know, see there's arrows coming up every once in a while in the centre. I don't know why that is. Right, where else might there be 3D scenery? Anyone want to venture a suggestion and I'll go there? Would be nice if everyone could have an online all fly together to a place, wouldn't it? I'm trying to remember what this brewery down here. Yeah, multiplayer mode in this would be fantastic. That's the rugby stadium first, isn't it? With Heathrow in the background. I think that's what that is. Let's go to Bristol. See if Bristol's there. No, exit flight simulator. I keep remembering to do that. Oh yeah, that's 3D, but I know some a little bit more exciting. Let's try New York. Let's be Casey Neistat. That's got to be 3D, isn't it? New York. So all those flight simmers out there are buying scenery packs for each of these places, and Google's doing the work. It's got to be 3D. Yeah. Yeah, that is where that woman standing up is, isn't it? So let's go to about there. That's what are they there? Ferries? Well, that's OSM data is exactly what I was going to, pop it into Blender and then put it into, there is a way of doing it in that sim that we all used to use, Flight Gear. But really, I mean, does one need to? Is that it there? Am I going for the right thing? Anyone know? That is it, isn't it? Must be uploading the 3D, the 3D terrain as we go. Is that it, or is there some other monument out there? Maybe there is. Having never been to the Americas. Could let it build. That's the part. This is the park, isn't it? That Phantom took off from. That hit the aircraft, the helicopter running through here. Just going around, just let it, just mill around a bit and let it grab the data a bit more. Yeah, that's what I thought. I left it here somewhere, didn't I? That'll be the thing. It hasn't loaded. Surely Surely they would have made a huge effort to make this work properly. That can't be it, can it? Oh, Google. That can't have been their current 3D rendering of it, can it? They had wires on the Millennium Dome. This is interesting, isn't it? So, yeah, well, New York's not getting drone deliveries soon then. Rendered a bit better now. Alright, well, where would be a place in... If I just put Silicon Valley in, that won't work, will it? Because that isn't really a place, is it? Where would Silicon Valley surely must be absolutely high fidelity and perfect? Battery Park, is that the name of that park there? Something like that, I think. Let's... Why is my keyboard... Oh, that's why. Silicon Valley, CA. Oh, Mountain View, yes, of course. That's what I should have done. Let's do that. That was a really good suggestion. Well, that should be... Chris Anderson took one of the first images of their place, didn't they? And oh, there was something on the bottom of the swimming pool, wasn't there? Oh, okay. It didn't take us very far away from there. Yes, this should be really amazing 3D. No, I don't think it. I think you're quite possibly right, but I bet the detail here is better. Ends up being better than New York was. It's just maybe my internet connection's giving up the ghost a bit. It could also be it. Is that the mountains of Mountain View then? You think they'd have a big arrow right over their property? If I get down, then surely... That's really interesting, isn't it? I've no idea. Oh, is that the is that those hangars that they've got now at the airship hangars, which one shouldn't call them hangars, of course, because they are in fact sheds. Airships lived in sheds. NASA Ames, is that where NASA Ames is? It's taking a long time. Oh look! Oh look! Oh, that's it. Oh. Yes, this one. They own this one, don't they now? Where are they testing delivery drones in America? It's considerably worse, or is it just me, or is it just load times? It's considerably worse than London. Moffat Field. That's it. I find myself quite surprised. These suburbs here, they're filling in a bit more. See, it all begins to come. Could be my internet connection. It's probably also, I've played around, obviously looked at England a lot, so it's probably got some underlying height files and things like that that it already had for London anyway, because I've never been here on Google Earth, so that's probably something to do with it. It's filling in now, isn't it? I'm doing the turning my head while flying a flight sim thing. There should be quite a bit of detail on this. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, look at the houses, that's better. There we go. Well, yeah, I wonder how far ahead it's loading the detail. And remember, I'm in Africa on a really, really slow internet connection. That's not going to help. And we're doing this streaming, so it's all not going to help. But if you flew in this area, you'd have it pre-cached, ready to go, wouldn't you? But I bet you there's enough height information once you've cached it here to have a camera in simulation. Obstacle avoiding and amongst all this. What's this? This, I'm in farmland now. But what the heck is that? Ponds of something. There's water there. Go on to Google Earth and look. The time. Oh, it's after midnight. What am I doing? Not the sewage ponds of Silicon Valley. Oh yeah, it's definitely filling in nicely now. Brine ponds. Oh, okay. Delta Z. Whoa. We're I'm just postulating on the fact that the folks from Google have got a lot more 3D data than I ever realised they had. I was thinking about there should be some really fancy aircraft parked down here somewhere, shouldn't there? Trying to go to Area 51. That's containers, isn't it? And more than enough to service delivery drone flights, and I thought it would be a problem getting accurate enough data to get into small fields, but there's loads of data out there. I'm astounded. So this is just flying in Google Earth. What's that? What is that? Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably very this is the public facing data, isn't it? This is stuff that's any old clown in even in Africa can get hold of. It's mad. Children today don't know they're born. This geography is it's just easy. Where was that big building thing? This thing. What was this? Like a big television, doesn't it? Buzz the tower? Is that the tower? Don't know. Might have been on the next pass. Anyone else want to come up with some suggestions to where we might find some 3D scenery? All around, what's it called? In Nevada, where they're testing. Not Nevada, in at the top. Oh, that's the pin I dropped for Mount. So somewhere up there should be where Google is. Mountain View. Yeah. Trees, there's reams of data popping. Oh, it popped in and out then. New York would have done this, wouldn't it? Where's the Googleplex then? Fly out this way and turn back. The trees filling in. That's amazing. San Francisco Bridge in F-18. All right then. Is that is miles from here, isn't it? Go like that. Aha. Go in a little bit. This should be 3D, shouldn't it? Yeah, I think we can already see it is. F-16 it is. Yeah, that bridge looks 3D, doesn't it? Bridge is down here somewhere, isn't it? It'll arrive with isn't that Treasure Island where Patrick does all this flying? Let's just mooch around a bit, let scenery catch up. Oh, the gear is down. Someone said touch and go, so G did do gear then. Am I going the wrong way? I've no idea where the bridge is. What's that beginning to build down there? There it is. Okay, now the show, our show, SUSB Expo, was here somewhere, wasn't it, I think? Yeah. Used to be at the Presidio, under there somewhere. Never been to it. So it builds some more. Yeah, that's kind of they just want your expertise, don't they? That's the trouble. No end of people ask me questions, and then what's that sticking out into the wall? There must have been another end of another bridge. Yes, very often get asked quite big questions, and you never get so much as a thank you afterwards. But wasn't that Wrigley Field? Just go, not Wrigley Field. One of the very early, maybe it was one of the very early airfields in America. I think went underneath us there. This is, yeah, there we are. It's beginning to build. Yeah, you keeping your knowledge is very tricky in this game. Yeah, very often that happens. And you've got to just, I don't know, either be a mug and just give the information, or say be just, I don't know, be a knob and say nothing. I don't know. The old FSX, they used to soar along here, didn't they? In the gliding, in the Microsoft Flight Simulator early ones. Going to after this, I think somewhere. Down to 420. That's a manageable 7 miles a minute. I don't know if this is. I really don't. I think this is Golden Gate Bridge. That's the old airfield with the hangars down at the bottom. I should go to bed, really. Oh, no, what's in the comments? Fort Hutchiker. Let's see if they've got 3D data around there. How do we spell it? Hutch. Oh, which one is that? Sierra Vista? Arizona, okay. I think so. That's the wrong way. Doesn't look like they've got 3D. Okay. bet if we just type Area 51 in, it'll know, yeah, it'll know what alien centre. It's got to be nearby, isn't it? Area 51 fireworks, they've got to be nearby, surely. Well, at least they know where to go. Is that actually where Area 51 is? None of you would know, would you? Let's see if they've got 3D here. Doesn't look like it. Oh no, somewhere where they must have it. Grand Canyon Village? What's that about? Have they? Have they? I don't think it has. It's very bumpy, but I don't think... Well, like pie charts, yes. What about your other place with a huge no-fly zone? Yeah. You can instantly see, can't you? You can instantly see when it's going to be 3D. Let's give it a few seconds before I go to the flight sim. Maybe that's what I should have been doing. Ignored the... Look at that detail. That's just extraordinary. How many flights of a Phantom would it take to do this? I know the resolution isn't super groovy and all that sort of thing, but it'll catch up, won't it, if this is early iterations. And as Delta Z says, this is what we're being allowed to see. Just imagine what they've actually got. Amazing. Right, let's start flying. Let's go slower. Bet you can hear that's a spring and this yoke that I'm using. So where's the White House then? Is it here? Is it in an area with seemingly very little definition? Or have we just... Oh no, they're arriving, the buildings are arriving. Washington, D.C., I believe. Oh, what's that there? No, that's not it, is it? This is probably the Mall of America or something like that. Ooh. if this was, is this a very government area that they've purposely flattened, or am I just being too conspiracy theorist? Because oh no, oh hang on, oh those are very low res trees. These are user made models. These aren't the other things. Ah, we're not in Flight Sim now. We're in Google Earth. Ka-ching go the springs. Yeah, I reckon those were user-made models. Of whatever these buildings are. I'm guessing that's it. But you see how quality the trees are? They're just like they're from SketchUp. All right, let's not mill around in a controversial area. I'm feeling guilty for no good reason. Yeah, look, now here's the Google generated scenery. That's that girls. That was one of the pictures for that girls' rugby game that you have over there, where they all wear all that padding. That's quite pretty. I might have to Google that church. I wonder if we're coming off to the end of the world here, as it were. Yeah, come on Google Earth. Make us a flight sim now for free with this everywhere. I wonder what that is. School thing. Back to the flatlands. Right, let's finish off in Switzerland. So it's got plenty of bunks. Then I really must go to bed. So that's going to be 3D stuff. To pretend to be the Swiss Air Force. I think they've got F-16s actually. I might be wrong there. think the train's popping in and out because it's sort of updating itself and having to redraw itself. I'm just guessing that. If I was in the Swiss Air Force, I'd know exactly where this valley's going now. I think it does load. I think it does load eventually. I think we showed that in. Have a play on it, High Tech Hobbies. Have a play for yourself and see. It's just not everywhere. It's got all the 3D buildings and stuff. Do you think I've got enough? Because we're 5 degrees up. Do you reckon we'll get over the top there? Is there a road going up here? There's houses. Wow. Now, I don't know quite whether this opens up to another valley, and we can't turn our heads and look. Let's just go here and see if we can. Imagine living there. This could be dark most of the day here, isn't it? Living in this valley. Wow. You wouldn't want solar power here, would you? I didn't know. Oh, there was a runway. I think. Let's. This hasn't got 3D, has it? Yeah. No, this hasn't got the proper like a 3D. Let's go back and investigate that runway. I'm going to crash now, aren't I? This is a bad place to go off heading. There it is. I wonder if that's one way in, one way out, because you wouldn't want to. You wouldn't want to be. You wouldn't want to be climbing on runway heading. That's a big. Look at that. There's one there. You wouldn't be taking off out this way. Now I think that's where we started over there. Let's go down over there. Had the 3D scenery. Well, I'm guessing it's where we started. I don't know why the flaps are going up and down. Oh well. The boat. That's not 3D. That's, yeah, you can already see where it's 3D scenery. You can see the light. It's lighter. Yeah, here we come into the 3D stuff. Why is it flattening it? Yes, it is. I think I'm just going to cut back. Let's start where we began, or finish where we began, I should say. Let's go back to Bedford. Somebody might just watch the last 5 minutes of this. Oh, which Bedford's it going to? That's interesting. I didn't really know. Now, we're here earlier, so it should have all cached this away. Ah, I know, that'll be good there. Let's tools, enter flight sim, go on the SR-2010. Oh, a bit high. Oh, that's a great airfield we're over now. That's Shuttleworth. If you're ever in England and you want to go to the most amazing model aircraft flying display, this is where the old boys have their big big free flight display, but it's also full of vintage aircraft, aircraft from well, the oldest flying Blériot is there, that sort of aeroplane. So it's a fantastic place to go, a wonderful, wonderful place. They have Edwardian flying nights. There's Bedford. What I was going to do, what happened was, I was going to show you the sheds. These are the sheds at Cardington. If they were 16 feet, I think it was longer, then you could have put the QE2 inside them and shut the doors. They are absolutely enormous. They're studios now. Warner Brothers, I think, are there. And if you search YouTube well enough, you'll find somebody made a video of me. Let's see if I can do it now. Doing this in a balloon though. We flew down the middle and it was a particularly exciting flight between them. So this is Bedford, so this is where this delivery corridor should be. These are the R100 and the R101 were in here, two enormous airships, and that's quite old imagery because they've done those up now. They're not rusted at the side. This is Shortstown, as in the manufacturer, aircraft manufacturer Shorts built it. That pyramid over there is a swimming pool, and that is where Tesco is in Bedford. Everyone needs to know that. Trial area will be coming up on the nose. There's Tesco's. I think it's Tesco's. Tesco's or Sainsbury's. I think it's Tesco's. That's a supermarket. That's a swimming pool, believe it or not. Some nice pubs along the river there. Right, now I'm beginning to get lost. Up here somewhere it's got to be. Pulling up a bit, give myself a chance. Actually, I'm sightseeing now. I'm going off topic. Right, so now we're just about coming overhead where Glenn Miller disappeared from. Used to be an airfield here in the Second World War. In 1944 it went on. From there to Paris and crashed. Just down here on this roundabout over here. I just cut out to this bit, can't I? I'll trim it just down to these last couple of moments. This is where Blue Bear's based. This is where the trial maybe will start. That's Blue Bear's headquarters. A company that have done so many things you've never heard of, but they are amazing. Amazing secret squirrel stuff is done there. I'm flying out along here a little bit because I want to see if... That's Stevington there, I think. Yeah, that's Stevington. So yes, there it is. That's the windmill at Stevington. Let's take ourselves there. There's the windmill. Not there. It was resolving, but not quite. There's a caravan park up here somewhere. Where's the road going up? There's a road going up. And up over here. The 3D scenery's gone from here, which is a pity, but no doubt it will come in the end. But you see, you could easily miss buildings here if you were corridoring it. Where was the gear? Gear was here, wasn't it? Maybe I'll go click on the window to... So what I did then, click the mouse, trying to get the gear to go down. Why will the gear go down? Maybe it's got... Oh well, it's just come to a crash on the end of the runway. There's that caravan park I mentioned in the last one. And then, I can't believe it's 10 to 1. I really must go to sleep. Did the throttle come down? Oh, I don't know. Thanks if you've hung around and have watched me mucking about in this, looking at 3D cinema, that's scenery. Like, subscribe, do what else you need to do, and the tube to you. Don't forget to watch us on Tuesday, 2100 GMT. Look how bumpy this scenery is. For our normal hangout. I have no wheels. They put them on the tarmac, don't they? That's very forgiving, isn't it? That was never right. There we go. Anyway, good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. He says, trying to find the stop. Cheers now.